Welcome to the weekly review with Sean Serak. I am Sean the King of Corey Senior, and of course, I am joined along with.
And it's your boy Serak and Mike. How we doing?
Doing pretty good, man.
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's the first time we're here in Serak's office / studio that he's in the process of making.
Yeah.
Come over here to help my co-host help.
It's a bedroom right now. I mean, we're in the bedroom right now, right? So
hey, I was trying to talk it up.
Yeah, I mean, like it's a work in progress. I'm gonna be honest with you, this setup took a lot longer than we thought it would.
Yes,
These cords. How about this? All right, listen, just a word of advice for anybody that's out there that's doing a podcast, you're streaming, do whatever you're doing, photography, you're making videos, and make sure you get like
all you content creators
extended cord. Like, because
extra long HDMI.
Yeah, get the 12 feet.
Yeah.
Even when you're buying chargers, when it offers you the 12 feet, get to 12 feet because the camera from here to where we're supposed to set it up, it doesn't reach. So get to 12 feet if you got it.
I mean, we did like musical chairs of the bedroom.
Exactly. Like if somebody was sleeping here, they'd be very upset right now because they
she's gonna be upset when she walks through that door. She's like, what in the hell did you guys
imagine can you imagine if it was a kid? Like it would just be like how do I say it? It would just be like you would think the boogeyman did this?
I wouldn't come back. I wouldn't come in the room. I'd be like, no, it's not happening. I'm sleeping on the couch or in your bed. This room's off limits.
Yeah. Like I don't understand.
Especially with the glows in the window too. And then you already know it's across the street. So
yeah,
that's a whole thing.
I want to be sure this is like actually like on because my buddy messaged me. He said
he's not getting it.
He doesn't
let's see. Let's ask the comments. Let's ask people who are listening. If
anybody's listening, can you see us? Can you hear us?
Here's talking live. Just mention it in the comments, and we want to know. Oh, we got a thumbs up, so someone can hear us.
Okay, so you can hear. So my buddy, he just has terrible. He's probably on like an iPad or something.
Yeah, it's for like weak internet.
I don't see anything. I don't see anything.
Like 5 megs a second.
He's not looking. He's not looking. That's the problem. He's not looking.
No. Okay. He's someone sees it, so we are being
right. We're gonna go off that one person, whoever that is.
That one person.
We're gonna go off of you.
Whoever you are.
Trust you.
That's
we're gonna trust.
Apparently, that's what we're doing today.
Can you imagine if you were just talking back and forth and like it wasn't even recording or it was?
I know.
I mean, that's what we used to do. We just record audio, just me and him.
Well, he just wants to make sure that he was that you are a fool and
right.
He was looking.
Right. Now, keep in mind, my buddy, he's in Indianapolis. Well, he's in Indiana right now. So, Indiana, they got to like share the Wi-Fi for the whole county.
I know.
It's a county Wi-Fi.
I believe it too.
You go to Indiana and you go to a Starbucks and you know how you can log into the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
It'll say instead of Starbucks, it'll just say Indiana, wherever county you're in, Wi-Fi, and you got to share it with like 1,000 people or something like that.
Oh, I believe it because if you ever watched 60 Days In, that show 60 Days In.
Yeah.
Oh my God, when they did the Indiana one and you saw the jail and they had the crap coming up through the floors of the jail. I mean, it was literal actual shit coming up through the floor of the jail.
Okay. That's
that was the Indiana jail. I'm just saying.
I'm just kidding. I love him. That he knows who he is. I'm just talking mess right now.
But this so we before we get into it, let's let people know what they are in for today. So for today's I was about to say today's what the Florida. I almost jumped right to the very end of the show. But for today's show, we're gonna be saying bye-bye to Tom Brady. Everyone knows why that is. Brian Flores shakes up the NFL.
He does.
Yeah, that's gonna a lot of fallout from that. And also Sony wears the halo. Yep, Sony now wears the halo.
You a gamer, you should know what that means. You an Xbox gamer, you should know what that means, okay?
If you don't even have to be a gamer. If you ever played a game anytime in the last 20 years, you know what that means.
Everybody knows what Halo is, right?
You do. And of course, we're going to follow it up with what the Florida.
Exactly.
But with that being said, let's get into it. So how are you guys liking it over here before we get into today's topics?
I like it. It's so I'm in a new spot in case you guys are wondering why he's asking. So we moved to a different spot down here in downtown Tampa. And as you know, you don't even have to live in Tampa, but the past year and a half, 2 years, you're a big sports fan. This has been considered Champa Bay, CHAMPA, Champa Bay.
Yeah, Champa Bay.
The reason being, you get the Lightning. If you're a hockey fan, which I hope you are, but they're back-to-back champs.
Yeah,
probably going to win a third one.
I mean, it's looking really good for them.
Yeah,
I mean, it really is looking pretty.
I don't know any other players, but they obviously do well. They do well. And And obviously, most of the world knows that the Buccaneers did win the Super Bowl last year with Tom Brady here in Tampa, which is actually to bring a point. The Rams are playing in the Super Bowl's in LA. So
at SoFi Stadium, they're playing.
Which is weird. So they technically, I mean, I think they're favored anyway, but they have a very high chance of being the second team in a row to win the Super Bowl in their home stadium, which is so weird because it's never happened ever. And the Bucs did it, and then now it's about to happen again. It's just like
it's gonna be like a whole thing.
God, like, where's the Super Bowl
now?
Next year?
It would be funny if Chicago pulls it off.
I don't know about that. Well, is in Chicago next year?
No.
Yeah, I don't think they will ever have it.
They've ever done a Super Bowl in any cold climate.
Well, they did.
Oh no, they've done it in Green Bay before.
No, Minnesota, because they had their new stadium, which was obviously with the roof and everything, and climate control was amazing.
I think they did it in Green Bay at one point in time.
Maybe.
Like, way back in the day.
I don't know, but they tend, how
they won't warm.
Green Bay can't win in their own stadium. You know how that is with playoffs.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah, so if you're a Tampa native or maybe you just new to Tampa, it's been crazy the past 2 years with the Bucs, with COVID, with all this other stuff that's going on. And I'm sure most people know as of this past weekend. So this weekend was Gasparilla, which is a festival that they do here in Tampa every year. The last Saturday in January, which is a pirate theme, huge festival, boat parade. They do a boat parade. Did they do a boat parade?
Is a boat flotilla. But if you've watched our last two shows, you have seen me in a pirate. Well, not get up, but it's just the pirate hat.
He's a pirate on weekends.
I am a pirate. Yeah, I'm a pirate on weekends. That's my weekend.
Jack Sparrow.
I'm a pirate.
Captain Black.
I'm a pirate on the crew of the Sir Francis Drake, and it's a fun little crew, and we drink a lot of alcohol and cuss like a sailor, and do our pirate
cuss like
things.
A sailor, pirate. The whole shebang. Kind of like Pirates. It was literally like Pirates of the Caribbean, except nobody gets nobody intentionally gets
Hopefully, I mean that's what we want. That's what we want to happen.
So that festival was this weekend. It was crazy. They didn't have it last year, so obviously there's been a lot of tension and excitement for it to happen this year.
It was a wild time.
Unfortunately, it was freezing cold. So I know if you're from up north, you're probably smirking because you guys dealing with snow.
Oh no, it was cold even for up north people.
Well, it was freezing. It wasn't snowing, but it got down to, I would say, mid to I don't know, 30s, but it got down to mid 40s.
Yeah, it was when we were on the route. It was about exactly when we got there. It was 51 degrees. By the time we pulled out, so it was around 46 or so degrees, and the sun was going down.
Yeah, the sun. When the sun is out, it's 70.
Oh yeah, when the sun was out, we were great.
Like, wow.
We walked up in there. It was 50 degrees. It felt like 60. We're like, oh, this is we're taking off stuff. They're like, what? I got all this stuff on for, but then
that sun go down. It's like the sun goes down and it just pulls. It goes down and it just throws up an ice cube in the air. It just freezes everything.
I'm telling you, once the sun went down, and we're right there on Bay Shore, so it's right off the water.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that breeze hit, and everyone out there is like, oh, let me get on this float right now.
And it doesn't matter how much you drink. Like the one thing, like, cause I'm from Michigan, and I would tell you this. Listen, we would go out in middle of February. It's 5 to 10 degrees outside. Wait in line. We would wait in line to get into bars and clubs, and obviously you dressed accordingly. But once you got inside,
now I came off.
Everybody drinks whiskey. You drink the whiskey. You drink the strong stuff. I will say this though. You would get drunk. Have a good time, and then closing time, you walk out there, and you don't got to worry about getting a DU. You can drive because you walk outside after the bar closes in the north. You immediately sober up. It's like it's like it's the best time to drink. Kind of.
I mean, when I lived in Montana, it was the same thing.
Yeah.
We had the same issue.
You call your wife, your husband, like, hey babe, I've been drinking a lot. Oh babe, be careful, don't drive. I'm good. You walk outside. Hey babe, can you come pick me up? It is freezing out here.
But now here's my question for you. So coming from someone who didn't grow up in that area, I didn't do a lot of clubbing in Montana when the snow was on the ground. So let me ask you this: how was clubbing with 2 feet of snow on the ground? Did people go clubbing then? Did they take off their coats? Do you guys have coat racks like in the club or something?
Yeah. So most places, or most decent places, had you come in, You get a ticket, they hang your coat for free. Usually they wouldn't charge most of the time. But I will say this: when you got inside, you got your money's worth. Listen, I don't care what it's. You could be going to, country night,
getting warm.
You getting your dance on. You have to dance. You stay warm. It's almost part of the routine. It's like we got, it's happy hour. We got drinks and we got a decent DJ. You get in there, you start dancing, you warm up. You literally go to the club to prepare yourself for leaving the club.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's how it was. And you can even ask my buddy, being one of my good friends, Joseph. He'll tell you, man, we go out and we, have on the right gear and we go straight to the club. And this is even before we were 21, so we couldn't even drink. We'd go there in the freezing cold, dance, get a little workout in, sweat a little bit, put your clothes on. And, we go to McDonald's afterwards. They mess up your order, obviously. And then we would just go home. But I tell people down here, listen, Florida, or I wouldn't say Florida, but Tampa, they have panhandlers.
Yeah.
Not a lot of homeless, but there's
some that's kind of spread out
right
over the city.
In Michigan in the winter, there is no homeless people. You find a job somehow. You find a job, protection. You find it. It's just
some way to get warm.
Yeah, because you're gonna die out there. You literally are gonna freeze to death. And even this weekend in Tampa, it being cold, I got frostbite. My lips got frostbite.
Oh,
my lips look like I've been smoking Black & Milds for 20 years straight because they were just straight.
Oh, I believe
black. And I don't know.
Look, my nipples are innies. They were outies. It was so cold. I was that cold.
Yeah, I was in tears. I literally thought about just walking off the job. Like it went through my head. I was like, Serak, is this worth it? This pain that you're in right now? And I was like, that's why I couldn't be a Navy SEAL.
I probably wouldn't have made it. Like even half the shit.
No, hell no.
I don't do cold. I moved here to get away from the cold.
Exactly.
Remember that. I don't do cold.
So Gasparilla was this weekend, and also on Saturday. So Adam Scheffner, speaking of Michigan, Adam Scheffner, he's a Michigan
Mr.
alumni.
Break. Every there is a break when it comes to sports.
Exactly. So Adam Scheffner is a reporter for ESPN. He is usually the first one that gets most of like the breaking news, whether it's a player being signed.
Aaron Rodgers was going to do. He knew Brady was coming down. He knows it all.
Exactly. And honestly,
how he knows it. But he knows it.
If he ran for, I would vote. If Adam Scheffner ran for president, that's the only guy I'd vote for.
Oh, he's
because everything he says is the truth.
He knows it all.
Exactly.
He's informed. He's like, I already know. They already told me like 2 weeks ago. This
almost think like agents, like Tom Brady's agent, almost think call it Adam. Hey Adam, hey man, I know you like to break news first, so I haven't even talked to Tom yet. Tom hasn't talked to me. I'm gonna tell you first, so I think he's gonna retire. And Adam Scheffner broke the news.
There's more into that when we get in our Brady story that comes out. Oh,
yep.
Oh, there's a lot to that.
So on Saturday, right around midday, you get. If you got the ESPN app, I'm sure you got the notification that Brady's gonna retire. Now, I personally, I had a feeling he was, just because I remember at the beginning of the season, he was complaining about the extra game. So if you guys don't know, in the NFL, there's usually 16 games in the regular season. But this year, they got rid of a preseason game to add an extra game at the end of the year.
So now we have 17 games.
Right. So even though it's only one extra game, I mean, it's still a lot, and obviously a lot of playoff matchups that happen were dependent on that last game as well. So it's a long season, especially if you are the defending champs, right? Because you played last year all the way through. You played every game and you played the last game. And you're 40-some years old, and you got to go to training camp all over again.
And that's the thing. I mean, that's where it stops, because once you've won,
right?
You want to break. All the other teams, they want to, they've been off like last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Think about the Lions. They was off week 7. It was over. It was over halfway through the season.
No, they were over as soon as they traded Matthew Stafford. That's when they were.
Listen, if you want to have a very long and comfortable career to where you don't get injured as much and play as many games, play for the Lions. Yeah. Because by week 7, you already gonna be planning like your vacation.
I mean, it's kind of telling that when Matthew Stafford played the Lions against Jeff Goff is Jeff Goff's the quarterback for Matthew. They just basically swapped places. That when they played at the end of the game, Stafford walked up to him and says, "Man, you guys really showed heart this time." Yeah, I mean that's
now y'all want to play hard.
Yeah, that says something. That shows how bad the Lions are, but how good the Lions could be.
They're so bad that like they play against other teams, and players on other teams will literally after games just be like, "Why don't you just come play with us?"
Pretty much.
Just come play with us. Like, don't even waste your time.
I mean, I don't think Matthew Stafford's even stopped smiling since he's been in LA.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
I
like,
wouldn't
I
either.
am
You go
here.
from Detroit. I love. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Lions fan. You know, I support Detroit. I support everything Michigan for the most part.
And he does too. Oh my goodness, he does.
You know, you got to be nothing but. And people have said this already. You got to be nothing but happy for Matthew Stafford. He's the one. I mean, whether he wins next week or not, or loses, I mean, to go from that franchise for so long, so many injuries, so many disappointments, so many losses, and still play at an elite level, and then get traded. And within, I mean, he's pulling up Tom Brady right now.
Season.
Yeah,
his
first season.
Take
your team to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then you retire the greatest quarterback of all time. You beat Tom Brady.
That's true.
In your first playoff win, or your second playoff win, you knock out the greatest quarterback of, well, you could, I mean, I won't say player, but greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah, I hate saying that because I'm a Manning fan, I'm a Montana fan, but it is what it is. Exactly. But he's got the most rings.
Exactly.
So by that logic, he's the most talented quarterback ever.
Back to Saturday. So, like I said, midday Saturday, we get the breaking news that Brady's retiring. Now, there's a lot of, obviously it wasn't a shock. Like I said, most people kind of figured, but the big thing is that, you know, without Brady officially saying it, there was a lot of, like, you know, people thought the news, I wouldn't say it was fake. Yeah, you had, but agents, it was premature. You even had his agent come out and say no, he didn't say it. Exactly. You had his dad come out and say no, he didn't say it. But people in Tampa, the people who live here in Tampa, I think we knew. Yeah, I think we knew because. Go ahead. No, do you think it was a slap in the face for that to? I mean, obviously, the rest of the world besides Tampa does have no idea what the hell Gasparilla is. But do you think it was kind of a slap in the face to the fans of Tampa and the Bucks to have that announcement posted on the same day as one of the biggest and, you know, biggest parades there is for the city? It is the biggest parade for the city. It's actually, I think, like the second biggest parade in the world or in the country. Like I was working and I got the notification and I seen other people get the notification. You know, it was kind of like all at the same time. And you got people having a good time, laughing, partying, drinking. And I just see them pick up the phone, look at the phone. And it's just like, oh man, you know what I mean? Of course, another shot. I need another shot. I don't think it took away from anything because people are going to be people who live here in Tampa anyway. Mm-hmm. They know what Gasparilla is all about. Yeah. So even when during the Bucks horrible losing seasons, Gasparilla was still going like, whew. Exactly. I mean, they were still pulling in 300,000 people. Yeah. You know, people are still happy, smiling. Normally, it's not so cold, so you had a lot less clothing. Normally, I'm not saying that. Now this is 300,000 people who are all dressed as pirates, by the way. Yeah, all dressed as pirates. We have the women dressed as winches. So it's a whole thing. Is that what a female pirate is? That's a female pirate, a winch. Yes. I thought that was like another name for like whore or something. I thought so too growing up, and then I learned the lingo. With a female pirate. I didn't know. I mean, it should be, by the way, but I've never seen, you know, whatever. But I don't think it took away from anything. And here's why I say that, because even though people say, oh, it was a big surprise, it wasn't for the people in Tampa, because here's what happened during that week when people were coming out left and right saying, oh, he's going to retire. And then people saying, oh, no, he's not. Here's what Channel 8 News, and I got to find it. And when I find it, I will post it. I will drop a link to the video. It's not a link to the video, but I will post the actual excerpt of the news story. But one of the reporters standing in front of Tampa Bay Stadium, in front of Raymond James, did a report on Tom Brady retiring, and even said retiring. Wow, that country's coming out at me. Retiring, and said, and said that he's going to be retiring when he's going to be making the announcement, but that Raymond James Stadium and officials are getting the stadium ready for his. Oh, they're going to do like an announcement for him. Yeah, so they were already getting it ready. It was like some type of LeBron decision type of deal. Pretty much. Attention, City of Tampa and St. Petersburg residents. It came out of that. Tom Brady, Thomas Dufresne Brady. Thomas Brady. Thomas Dufresne Brady. Would like to thank you for your support and for me to borrow, pretty much the keys to the city for a year or 2 years. 2 years. And Giselle, sit down, Giselle, and the kids, which I don't know their names because I've been playing so long. I haven't had time to raise them. Yeah, I know. We are going to retire as a family. Oh man,
It's
22 years.
but it's just funny that people say, "Oh, we didn't know. You knew.
You knew.
You knew.
What do you think he was gonna play to 100?
I know. You knew. All it took was he was waiting for that one last loss. I don't think he was gonna pass this year, win or lose. Honestly,
let me ask you this: do you think you think there's any blame on Antonio Brown? Because he was, I mean, I know he's crazy a little bit, but he also was a huge asset to the team.
He was the he was the number one receiver.
Right. And obviously the Bucks.
I don't mean he's the best receiver on the team. I was just mean when you're receivers, you're 1, 2, or 3, and he was a one receiver.
Antonio Brown was kind of. You ever see the movie Radio? And not trying to make that's what he kind of reminds me of. And he's crazy, and all he says is, "I just want to play football, coach." Like that's all.
Rain Man, same thing. Rain Man couldn't do anything but could do the math, like solve math puzzles. That was all he could do.
Yeah,
everything else he couldn't do, but knew that. Antonio Brown on the field, he
can play.
I mean, on the field, he's almost untouchable.
On the sideline, don't talk to him.
Yeah.
He's a loose cannon.
You might want to take a couple sips or something. Call your mama or something before you go talk to him, just because get your mind right.
Exactly. And honestly, how I don't understand. I mean, he played in New England with Brady. You're playing with. I mean, Brady let him stay in his home over on Davis Island.
Yeah.
I don't know if with him, but stay in his home.
No,
he did everything.
I mean, it's a mansion, so it's not you're going to see the other person, but yes.
That's true. He did everything possible to keep Antonio Brown, not only part of the team, but involved and a little bit sane, I guess.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If
definitely did.
That's like playing with,
he looked like a friend helping out a friend.
Yeah. It was kind of like Michael Jordan and Dennis Rodman.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Except
no, there's no really except because Rodman had, especially when he broke up with Carmen Electra, Rodman was going through the whole thing. Jordan was like,
hey, as long as he shows up and play.
Yeah, we got to play this game. And that's what Rodman's mindset turned into. In the last 2 seasons, they were dynamite, literally.
Yeah.
I mean, they were unstoppable. So, I mean, that's the same thing, I guess.
So back to Brady. So, the announcement came on Saturday, and obviously it was, it was expected and kind of sad. Fast forward to...
And all you people clapping for Brady in the comments. Look, we all know you like Brady. We all know he's got 7 rings. But come on, people. He's 45 years old.
He did have a good education. You know what I mean? So fast forward to Tuesday, I believe, Monday or Tuesday. Brady officially made his announcement with Instagram. I mean, I guess that's what it is now. You make an Instagram post. Hey,
that's it.
I mean, if I'm quitting my job, I'm just gonna do it on Instagram. Hey, dear coworkers, it was great, but I'm retiring.
Hey, I want $1 million. Delete Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. So he made this long, heartfelt. I assume heartfelt. Post.
I didn't listen to it. Did you listen to it?
It was just you just.
I saw the thing, but I was like, okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's all there is.
Normal.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's the normal retiring.
Announcement. Thank you. He didn't even probably write the thing. No. Probably like one of his personal assistants or something.
But there also was, I mean, and this is just nonsense, but obviously majority of his career was played in New England with the Patriots. And since the initial post, he's obviously made a story and reached out to that fan base. But
originally
he was just thinking the Bucks. So, I mean,
he really played for 20 years for a team.
Yeah.
And you make your announcement and you just forget that team. Yeah. You can say it was a mistake or a slip of the tongue.
But did he make a goodbye for when he first left New England?
Yeah, he did. Well, not really.
Because peace out, bitches.
Pretty much. Because him and Belichick, allegedly fell out, then they ain't on good terms. We don't know that for a fact.
It's funny how that always happens, right? There's never a good breakup.
No. No matter how much you like the person, like, look, we got to part ways. You're recording people playing football. I'm playing football. You're trying to cheat people playing football. I'm trying to cheat playing football, but I'm trying to do it my way, not your way. Breakups happen.
Yeah, and he was honest about it. Here's a little excerpt from his Brady's post. Let me fast forward a little bit. So this is out of context, but this is difficult for me to write. But here goes. I am not going to make the competitive commitment anymore. Well, okay, that's fair. I have loved my NFL career, and now it's time to focus my time and energy on other things that require my attention. I've done a lot of reflecting the past week, and I've asked myself difficult questions. Am I so proud of what we've achieved? My teammates, coaches, fellow competitors, and fans deserve 100% of me. But right now, it's best I leave the field of play to the next generation of dedicated and committed athletes. And that's true, you know. And I was just thinking about, like, you know, when we grew up, you know, well, at least me, you lower me, no offense. You know, we had the
no grades, baby,
the Peyton Mannings, the Andrew Lucks, the obviously the Brady's, the who else was a good quarterback? Brett Favre. We had the Ben Roethlisberger. He retired too. I feel bad for Ben Roethlisberger though. You never want to retire
the same year
as Brady.
My goodness, I know.
Right, like Ben Roethlisberger was like, all right, peace out. I'm out of here.
Yeah. And it was like, because if you think about it, all the way up until I guess last week, it was the talk was Ben's retiring.
Yep,
that was Big Ben's retiring football. You know, the terrible towels are everywhere. Everyone's making such a big deal about it. Everyone on ESPN was talking about, every single channel on ESPN. They're like, oh, he did the lap around the stadium and all that good stuff.
Yep.
And as soon as it not even announced, as soon as it was even suspected, poof, more Ben talk.
And once Brady announced his retirement, a part of me was like, wait, Ben Roethlisberger retired?
Yeah.
I kind of forgot, you know. And I mean, shout outs to Ben. He played well, and Mike Tomlin is a hell of a coach for dealing with Ben and AB. And I think that actually might be a good segue into our next topic here. Okay, so Mike Tomlin, if you don't know who he is actually the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's been a coach for many, many, many years. He's won a Super Bowl. He's had plenty of great players, like I said, Ben Roethlisberger, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown. I mean, you can count Juju Smith-Schuster if you want. But he's also one of not many black head football coaches. No. And if you guys haven't been in, you know, I don't want to talk about sports for too long, but Brian Flores, if you don't know who he is, he used to be the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. Yeah. Okay. So
for 3 seasons.
Yeah. For a couple seasons. And the Miami Dolphins, they're a good team, but they're nothing to get excited about, unfortunately.
They used to be.
Yeah.
They used to be the Florida team.
Yeah. Actually, with Junior Seau played for them, right?
Was Junior Seau? Yeah, Junior Seau played for him, but during the Dan Marino days.
Yeah. They used to be really good. You know, Dan Marino, if you ever seen Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, he's in that.
Yeah. That was pretty much the end of Dan Marino's playing days, was when that movie came out.
So Brian Flores
makes me old.
Recently had put out a statement or an accusation that he was offered $100,000 per game via the owner to lose intentionally so that the Miami Dolphins get a good draft pick. So first and second.
Get the more draft pick.
Obviously, if you watch sports, you know the shittiest team usually.
And during that year, they were trying to get Joe Burrow. By the way. This was when Joe Burrow was coming up, for the draft.
So the shittiest team usually gets, you know, the first couple draft picks.
Yeah.
So Brian, obviously, as a head coach or any competitive athlete, you know, $100,000 is a lot of money, obviously, to me and you, but in the professional sports world, especially the NFL, it's not, you know, it's not life-changing for them.
It's still a decent amount of money. I mean, that's a nice car for them.
Correct.
But it's not something that they're going to break their morals or their principles for.
Right. So obviously Brian Flores didn't lose every game. He didn't pull the lines. He won a couple games.
His first season was 5-11.
Right.
Which coming from what the team did the year prior with Adam Gase, that's not too bad.
Correct.
It wasn't too bad.
Correct.
And then as you were going.
So he won a couple games, and obviously I'm not sure if he got the $100,000 for the losses. Excuse me. But
I don't think so, because he was the owner was pissed off.
Yeah. Can you imagine that? Like the owner of the team getting mad that you're winning games. What are you doing? So eventually he was fired just for, I assume, performance with the team.
Which, here's the thing, he was fired in the Dolphins' best season since 2003.
Yeah, you know who else? Speaking of the Lions, Jim Caldwell, who also was an African-American coach for the Lions, had one of the best seasons they had in a very long time and made the playoffs. And they lost, obviously.
Yeah. And
also got fired the following season, which...
See, there's something going on with that.
Exactly, which doesn't make any sense.
The Rooney Rule was supposed to cover that.
Yeah, so the Rooney what is explain
yeah.
what the Rooney RONNEY rule is.
So it is a quick non-textbook answer of what the Rooney Rule is. The Rooney Rule is basically a rule where the NFL owners had to, since 1991 or 81, it's one of those 2 years, since 1981, they have to now, every team, when they want to interview or replace an offensive coordinator or any leadership position, so coordinators, defensive offense coordinators, the head coach, the GM, and the president, they have to interview people of different ethnicities, at least
Correct.
3 African Americans, to satisfy the Rooney Rule.
Right.
If you don't do that, then the NFL will fine you and come after you for
exactly. So not saying, I mean, like, I'm not a big believer in the whole like affirmative action thing. I don't think people should be put in positions of, you know, whether it's a coach or it's a GM just because of their race. You know,
you are the benefit of affirmative action.
That's true. I mean, there's 2 sides to it, but like I respect actual like talent. If you're a good coach, you should get a good coaching job. It shouldn't be, you know, you're black, so let's just throw you in there. Now with the NFL though, which is kind of weird, obviously the majority of players in NFL are black or Latino.
Yeah, I mean, those the 2 leagues, football and basketball. I mean, those are pretty much considered African American leagues.
Correct. And even today, 90% of the coaches are, you know, are white, which is nothing against them. You know, and
some of them are great coaches.
Exactly.
Coaches. But they also have great teams under them. Not when I say teams, I mean coordinators and coaches under them who are not white.
Correct. So, for example, so you have an offensive coordinator, you have a head coach, you have offensive coordinator. Obviously, the offensive coordinator, if you don't know, usually, you know, puts together the plays for the offense. I mean, the head coach has final say at the end of the day, but a good offense coordinator usually means you have a good offense or a good team, and it kind of like, you know, it all works together as one. So there's been a lot of black offensive coordinators who have done very well, who have interviewed for head coaching jobs on terrible teams, who need a good coach or OC.
Todd Bowles.
Yeah. And not get the job. Now, in the NFL, a lot of the coaches and team coaches, I mean, it's a merry-go-round. You know, they kind of just switch back and forth. You know, you'll see one coach here, coaching another. They really don't pull from outside of the league too much. But with Brian,
he interviewed with the New York Giants.
Yeah, after he got fired, he interviewed for the head coaching job for the New York Giants
and the Denver Broncos
and
Giants. I got it right here. Dolphins. Sorry, it's Giants, Broncos, and
another team, I believe.
I just had it right here.
But as he's looking that up, so basically, and we were talking about Bill Belichick, and that kind of plays a role as well. So he was interviewing for the New York Giants head coaching job. And obviously there's a few candidates. So 3 days, I believe, before his actual interview, he got a text message from Bill Belichick, stating congratulations on the coaching job, yada, yada, yada. Now, the funny part is, and this is why I put people's last name first in my phone, just in case this happened. Now, we all have double names in our phone. I got like 20 Kevins, 80 Steves, whatever, you know. Bill Belichick meant to text Brian Dabble, who was another candidate for the head coaching job. Now, I assume Brian Dabble had already interviewed and got the job, or was notified that he got the job. So Bill Belichick texted Brian, but he texted Brian Flores instead and congratulated him on the job even before he interviewed. So, you know, it wasn't a butt text. I mean, it was obviously on purpose. So then once Bill Belichick realized what he did, he obviously apologized. Oh, you know, my bad, wrong text.
But it's a little too late for that, though.
So basically, I mean, this means is that Brian Flores didn't get the same opportunity as Brian DeBoll did, and I apologize if I'm saying his name wrong, for no really apparent reason. Now, there's other things that he has.
Oh no, it's the Dolphins. So it's the Dolphins, the Broncos, and the Giants.
Right. So there's other things he has, you know, as far as his class action discrimination lawsuit. Now, obviously, I mean, I'm not surprised.
There's a part that you're kind of missing. It actually kind of pulls from our previous story. So the thing about Brian Flores, and kind of,
he's a good coach too.
He's a good coach. That's the thing. He's not just a good coach. He's a good coach who has a good principles behind him. Because here's one of the biggest stories. This story was reported by NBC Sports. There's a prominent when Brian Flores was being interviewed for the Dolphins job. He had a lunch meeting, whereas he was told that to go after a prominent quarterback, which is of course illegal. Okay, the NFL league rules. You have to wait for them to hit free agency before you can go after.
Right, them. You can't text them before they're done. It's a waiting period.
Exactly. So he was told to go ahead and go after this person. He didn't.
Get his ass.
And apparently, behind his back, a meeting was set up between him, the owner of Miami Dolphins, Stephen Ross, and a prominent quarterback. Now, the prominent quarterback, and I'm going to read this excerpt from NBC Sports. After the end of the 2019 season, Mr. Ross began to pressure Mr. Flores to recruit a prominent quarterback in violation of league tampering rules. Mr. Flores repeatedly refused to comply with these improper directives. Undeterred, in the winter of 2020, Mr. Ross invited Mr. Flores onto a yacht for lunch. Shortly after he arrived, Mr. Ross told Mr. Flores that the prominent quarterback was conveniently, I can't say the word, conveniently, there, thank you, arriving at the marina. Obviously, Mr. Ross had attempted to set up.
I can't say misogyny. I read that word, like my brain just
farts. Yeah, I can say that. Set up a purportedly impromptu meeting between Mr. Flores and the prominent quarterback. Mr. Flores refused the meeting and left the yacht immediately. After the incident, Mr. Flores was treated with disdain and held out as someone who was non-compliant and difficult to work with. That prominent quarterback was Tom Brady. According to Joe Shad of the Palm Beach Post, Brady had just finished what he would be his final season with the New England Patriots and was set to become an unrestricted free agent that March.
Yeah, so I'm not really surprised at this. I mean, you can see some of the stats. I mean, it's Black History Month, so we should be winning for the next 28 days or whatever.
And this is actually a story that you probably should read, especially if you're African American or any ethnicity, because these are the things that you still have to face in 2022. This is 2022, and these are millionaires still getting discriminated against.
Whatever,
at the top of their game.
What I mean? I'm making millions of dollars and I still can't find a job.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. No matter what level, I guess, because think about Obama. No matter what level you get to, the haters are still going to hate.
You think Brian Flores walked into an interview and it was like, are you a player or?
Yeah, I know, right?
Practice is at the other field. I'm sorry, buddy. We already got a coach, but I'm here for about. Oh, you black in your name, Brian?
Yeah, I guess if you're not looking like Mike Tomlin coming in there, and everyone's gonna say, no, he's a player.
Yeah, if his name was Jerome Flores, yeah, you already know they'd be like, no, sorry, we're not even gonna tell him to come in.
It's a sticky situation. And the thing is, the fallout from this, because it's going to be massive.
Yeah,
because it's not that it's an angry head
coach. Perfect timing too, right before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, and it's not that this is just an angry head coach who didn't get a job and he's suing. No, this is a head coach who has the receipts. Literally, he's got the stuff in writing from each instance.
From text messages too.
Text messages.
Yeah, see, listen.
So he's got it all.
Don't if you trying to save your ass, don't text. Call. Just freaking call, man. Text never disappear, man. I got text messages from like 2013 because of my Apple ID.
Oh, I got so many old text messages.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I still have text messages from when my kids were young, and my kids are now, everyone knows my kids are adults now. I haven't when my kids are young, because if I was ever overseas, I'm like, well, I got something I can read or hear from them.
And there's no context. It's hard to read mood and context and meaning in text. I say some stuff jokingly, and I get like the serious text back.
Well, let's take 2 words. You suck.
Yeah.
Think about how different ways that could be interpreted. Come on.
Something? Am I suck at something? Am I terrible?
Suck.
Is this for me? Like, I don't know.
No, but me, I'm like, you suck. Man, exactly. You suck too.
If somebody texts me that, I'm calling them immediately. Yeah. It's funny. Here's the actual message from Bill Belichick. So after he congratulated him and realized that it was the wrong Brian. He says, "Sorry if I f this up. I double checked and misread the text. I think they're naming Brian DeBall. I'm sorry about that, BB. My bad that you didn't get it.
Good job, Belichick.
I'm telling you, I didn't get the job. You're not even coaching that team.
I know you already knew.
Yeah,
that's when you know it's already made.
But that goes to show there's the inner circle.
Yeah.
That controls. It doesn't matter if you're Bill Belichick is the head coach of the Patriots, and yet he knew who the head coach was, who they were hiring.
Completely different team.
Yeah,
of a rival team.
He probably already got the game plan set up. Yeah. Don't trust the Patriots, man. I mean, they're a good team, but you had Deflategate. You had them recording people practices, and now Bill Belichick knows who the players and coaches are before they even get hired and signed.
I mean, maybe they're like I've said this a million times. I didn't like Brady when he played for New England. I mean, that's a competitive issue with me, I guess, but I just didn't. Since he's left New England, his attitude has improved a little bit as far as like his news conferences and just
Belichick?
No, Brady.
Oh yeah, maybe down here in Florida, he getting a suntan.
Yeah,
he drinking margaritas on the pier, like he just. Yeah, so me and my boy Gronk. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can get you guys a championship.
See, he's loving it, and since I'm in the camp now that I think this was all Belichick. Not all. Okay,
Bill Belichick is
90% Belichick.
He has that like shady face.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's like you can't like I see why Tom Brady. Like I can imagine playing for Bill Belichick because I couldn't read his how he's thinking.
Never know what he's
is he mad at me? Am I gonna get cut? Am I gonna get a raise? Am I switching positions? Does he want me to play quarterback? Does he not want me to play quarterback? Should I do something illegal? Should I deflate these balls?
But when you won 6 rings and you still don't have the say so, much say so about what the team goes on.
Bill Belichick won rings, and then he should be like, he don't even like after when they win the Super Bowl and they give out the awards, he should be like, I just want to say thank you to the team and everything like that. Anyway, I gotta go home and feed my wife. I don't have kids. By the way, I got these cut off sweat. Like he just
and also go Patriots.
Yeah, it's like he got to deal with the devil that he has to coach football. He just hates it.
Yeah,
he's like whatever. Go out there and do something.
He's like I didn't got all my accolades. There's nothing to go
exactly.
So why'd I sell my soul for again?
I just got a quick little stats for you with the whole. Black coaching and stuff like that as far as the NFL. So out of the 32 NFL teams, only 3% employ black head coaches. Only 4 of the 32 teams employ a black offensive coordinator. Only 11 of the 32 employ a black defensive coordinator. And of the 3 NFL teams, 9% employ a black quarterback coach. And lastly, only 6 of the NFL teams, which is 19%, employ a black general manager. So
that's a horrible.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of the whole Donald Sterling thing. Yeah, Clippers.
Yeah,
it's like pay you enough to entertain, these folks or these fans, but when it comes to like the real nitty gritty, it's like everybody shuts up, man. It's quiet.
You don't have any say so.
Yeah, it's like the second coming of I mean, it's not necessarily the same, but kind of like the second coming of the whole Kaepernick situation.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So who knows?
It is, because at the end of the day. You've got to say Kaepernick was right. Even if you didn't like what he did, you still got to say he was right.
Let me ask you this though,
because this is, I mean, you have 90% of the teams are African American.
Yeah,
but less than 20% of the teams are ran by African Americans.
Yeah,
or have them in leadership positions.
In breaking news, speaking of hiring coaches, and it's Adam Schefter, by the way, breaking news, so it's true. Former Eagles head coach Doug Peterson is being hired as the next head coach of the Jaguars. So go for that. Let me ask you this, and we'll move on. If you're a Colin Kaepernick or if you're a Brian Flores, right? Now, say if you're new to the league, right? You don't come from money. You didn't, you don't have nobody in your family who's went to college or whatever. Kind of like that sap story. And you're offered, these multi-million-dollar contracts, right? But you also know that this is going on behind the scenes in the league. Do you say something? Or do you shut up and just take the money? Now, because if you say something, you're pretty much out of the NFL, and you got to deal with all this other, legal stuff.
I think.
Where does your morals lie? Listen, hey Sean,
you got to go.
If you don't say nothing, I'll offer you a 4-year, $50 million contract. Just shut the hell up.
Yeah, but you still got to. At the end of that 4 years, you still got to live with yourself.
Yeah, but you got $50 million.
Yeah, 50 million
it can go a long way. Yeah, especially if you come from nothing.
Coming from nothing. That's the trick.
And I think that's why we're still dealing with this today, right?
Yeah. Because I mean, there's a lot of things even now, and I'm not broke by any means, but there's a lot of things that I will.
No brokenness over here.
There's a lot of things I would do now, where I would try to obtain extra money, just because when you, like you said, when you don't have anything, you come from literally nothing. You just want to keep getting ahead and more ahead and more ahead and more ahead. And that's why I've told people, a lot of people, I'm hardly ever content, because if I'm content, that means something's wrong. Right. It means, because
I'll say this: you never see this in hockey.
No.
I don't think I've ever seen one hockey controversial headline ever. The only thing you hear in controversial hockey is like, "Yo, is Ovechkin a U.S. citizen or are you Russian? He's supposed to be playing over here."
Pretty much. That's pretty much it.
Oh man,
this is a story that's sorry, didn't mean to go. This is a story that it's gonna have a lot of ramifications, especially once the off season, once all the free agents and stuff start getting out there and players start picking the teams to go to. And you have teams like teams that just hired Doug Peterson. Not saying he's a bad coach by no means, but you had another guy, Brian Flores, who's still a new coach. He's a winning coach at this point, and you don't give him the opportunity.
Or maybe the owners should have maybe they should just be the billfold. Maybe they should be the checkbook, and they shouldn't have any say or be involved in any team activities.
Yeah,
silent owners to where the public or whatever city
I think Seattle does that.
Huh?
I think Seattle. I think some team is owned by the actual.
Yeah, but I think the fans,
actual city itself.
I think the fans and and the city should have some say in who is hired.
Oh,
as far as like management.
Because if you think about this, all right, to put a new stadium into a city, or even revamp a stadium, it's not just the owners of the stadium that are involved. It's the taxpayers of the city, because we pay part of the money. Thank you for that, Jordan Falls. It was Green Bay. But we pay part of the money for those stadiums to be built and to be ran, and our actual taxes.
And I don't mind paying a little more for Tampa to get a goddamn roof or something. That one is brutal.
No, but Jordan Falls, he was just right. Green Bay, that team is actually owned by the city itself, by the actual taxpayers.
Yeah, so, and that's why their stadium's always packed every Sunday, win or lose.
And they feel love for their team because they have part ownership of that team.
Yeah.
Versus here, we're just pretty much told.
We just watching.
Yeah, I'm super rich. I need this.
Get out there, boy. Throw that ball, catch that ball, run fast.
I need your city to pay me $50 million to build this stadium here, to keep my stadium here. But you're already rich. Why you need $50 million? Well, because I want more money.
Money makes money. Listen.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, they watching like, wow, he's so fast. I'm not even racist anymore. Anyways.
But yeah, let's move on.
Let's move on. Here we go.
So our last story before we jump into Florida is going to be for all our gamers out there. I know why we didn't start off with this one.
We should have started off,
because this one is going to catch them all. So as we talked about, not last
gaming week, is listen. I know some people don't like video games. I've been playing since I was in diapers. Gaming is taking over. It's gonna be. That's what's doing. That's what's pushing entertainment. It's gonna catch up to soccer, international soccer. It's what's pushing. Because everybody can play. You don't even got to be athletic. You just got to have some fast thumbs, dexterity. Shoot, you ain't gotta have fast thumbs anymore. Now you got VR stuff. If you can move a little bit. Yeah, you can move a little bit. You speak English, you're good. You good. Shoot. Heck, you ain't got to speak English. I play Firewall this morning with some guys from Russia. Russia or something? I would say, okay, so in Call of Duty, it's some of the lobbies when you play Call of Duty is regional. So down in Florida, we have a very high Hispanic population, which I love. I mean, I love my Spanish people. But my gamer tag, my username for Call of Duty is El Diablo. Of course, 24/7, 365. I've had it for like 15 years, and I kid you not, since I have that gamer tag, they automatically assume I speak Spanish. Yep. So they put me in lobbies with other Spanish-speaking people, and I'd say 7 out of 10 times when I'm playing with randoms, I'm in a lobby. And I'm the only, and they speak English too. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I know, but they be going to town on Spanish, and I be trying to, I be like, listen, the guy's over there, shoot him. and it'd be I'd be like, yo, what? Just ping them. You know?
Man.
So
I've had Spanish friends that would do that. They were like, no English, no English.
Yeah, and
then as soon as you walk
don't
away,
mess around.
Man,
Say,
this idiot.
No, don't mess around and say something in Spanish at first, because I'll be like, yo no say. And they'd be like, oh,
yeah. Then you're done. Then you're done.
I should shut up.
You're done at that point.
I'm just gonna exit out right now. Good luck, you guys.
But yeah, so let's talk about game. So as we discussed week for last, Activision was bought by Xbox, Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft. So Activision is a very large game developer. They make Call of Duty, a whole bunch of other games, very popular games. You know, they're $1 billion company, and they were bought out last week, I believe, by Bill Gates and them. So,
he's no longer in charge of the company, but Microsoft. Well, it's still Bill Gates. So he's still getting kickbacks from it. So it's still Bill Gates.
Yeah, okay.
So Bill Gates and them. So with that,
I think I'm did the light go off? Oh, sorry, the light went off. It's okay.
So with that happened, then I guess Sony didn't want to be, left in the dark, pun intended, and they decided to go out and buy Bungie. Now, if you don't know who Bungie is, Bungie is the company that's behind some of the biggest Xbox games out there.
Correct.
Microsoft Xbox.
They're another game developer, kind of like a rival. Well, I wouldn't say a rival to Activision. I think they all work together. And, I think
Activision is probably bigger than Bungie.
Right. But game developers, they don't like beef with each other. Not like
no.
bigger cups. They kind of
they just want money. They don't care.
They don't care. Just play it.
Yeah, they really do not care. Just pay me.
And Sony owns, obviously, you guys know, the whole PlayStation series, PS4, PS5, the whole bang. And then Microsoft is the Xbox, usually PC games, stuff like that.
Now PlayStation's jumped to the PC game too, but yeah. So Bungie, who makes some of the biggest Xbox games out there, which their biggest Xbox game is Halo. Combat Evolved, the first one, and all the sequences after that.
And Halo was the original when the Xbox first came out in early 2000s. It came with the game. It was the greatest thing at the time.
It was awesome.
If you had friends in the neighborhood, you go over the houses, you can play with each other. It's one of those franchises, kind of like
it's huge. I mean, this franchise is so big.
Like Fast and Furious, pretty much.
So not during deployment, but when I didn't have to go on deployment once, but a buddy of mine, he was in a different brigade, so he's on deployment. And so me and I would go help out with his family, his wife and his kids and whatever. And me and his wife, we'd be bored. We started playing Halo. She's like, I want to learn. She was actually good at it too. Not like I had a teacher, and she's like, I want someone to play Halo with me.
Was a girl?
Yeah,
girls like. By the way, girls that game. I mean, listen, if you're a girl, or I was gonna say a female. If you're a girl or a female, whatever you call yourself, and you want to make a lot of money.
Oh Lord! Oh my God!
Buy a video game or a video game system where there's.
I can't say this because I have a daughter, but I'm going to say it.
Whether that's Xbox or PS5, and stream. Just get a computer, stream your gaming, because the nerds go into like overdrive. Listen, I mean, even when I'm playing Call of Duty, if there's a girl on your team, the guys just, they lose their minds. I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I don't. It's because they've never talked to a woman before. I think I don't know what it is.
You don't even got to be good. You don't even have to be good. If you're a girl, just put some makeup. Well, I mean, don't put makeup on, but do what you got to do. Stream. You don't got to be good at the game, and you will make a ton of money. Like this is one girl, I don't know her name, but she's a streamer. She sucks. She's terrible at whatever game she's playing. She's terrible. It doesn't matter what it is. Tetris, freaking poker, cards, doesn't matter. She's terrible. And like she'll have thousands of people watching her play.
Yeah, I believe
it. I mean, she's a cutie. She's smile. Hey, oh my God, I don't know what.
That's what I mean. That's all it takes is a little cuteness, and that's the thing. Yeah. And here's cuteness. This is a cuteness scale for nerds. All right. Cuteness scale for like guys that go to the clubs or whatever.
Right.
They judge between 1 and 10.
Right.
On a scale for nerds, it's basically between 1 and 5, and even 1's good.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying,
you could be missing an eyeball. You literally could be half bald headed, missing an eyeball, and got tissue on the bottom of your shoe, and you will still make money streaming as a girl. Matter of fact, I'm about to start a little streaming team.
Streaming team
for girls.
There you go.
I'm gonna go down to UT. I'm gonna go to the library. It's like, hey, you look pretty smart. You want to make some extra money?
Boom.
I mean, is that modern day prostitution?
That
might be tough.
That's,
I mean, you gotta have
that's
it
a gray area.
You have it in writing.
Yeah, that's a gray area.
Put your team together. Get some computers. They don't even got to be good ones, as long as they got a camera, and just stream Tetris or something. I mean, like I said, it doesn't have.
So are you gonna have like little chat rooms set up for them?
Yeah. You know, I mean, there's gonna be. I keep in mind there's gonna be majority weirdos in there. There's always the weirdos in there that's like, oh my god, oh baby, oh god, you make my day. Like, what? How is that even possible? I don't even know you.
That's exactly how they do it. That's why I
make six figures.
My daughter, she games a little, but she's not a gamer, and she is definitely not a streamer. So
yeah,
I'm good on that.
Just like when I always they always tell me, well, they always tell me, but like at the job I'm working in St. Pete, you know, and St. Pete is heavy LGBTQ, and we support that obviously 100%. Yes. But they was like, oh, Serak, man, if you worked at a gay bar, you kill it. I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to. You know, I'm sorry.
Hey, just go for it. Hey, make that money. I'm just saying. Hey, I know a woman here. I don't know them personally, but I know of women here who make $100,000 and all they $100,000 a year, and all they do is flirt a little. They don't sell themselves.
Oh my god! Did you get those specs from Lens Crafters?
Boom! Wow. Here's $100 tip. Thank you.
Here's my whole life savings. Here you go.
That's.
Oh, thank you.
If they can use it, why can't we?
Yeah, we're hideous. That's why.
This is true. This is true. They've been doing it since the beginning of time, and we are still playing catch up. Because
they be like, yo, you need a haircut. Yo, what type of shirt is that? Yo, what's that in the background?
But
anyway, what type of computer is that?
Getting back to the game. So my buddy who played with me at the time, her name was Ann. Her husband was Nick. God rest his soul. What? Her name was Ann. We would play. She was good. She was really good. And I think we're all three of them at the time. I think it might have been all three. But we ran through the first one. When I say we ran through the first one like a day and a half, whatever. The second one though, I wasn't as good at because I didn't have the game. They had the game. So she's literally walking me through this game, help me. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna die. There's a cliff there. And she's like, no, Sean, don't do it. Okay, you died. So, like I said, women who game are great. And this game is so great that people who just like, I just want to hang out. I just want a game.
Yeah.
You know, just want a game.
Gaming parties.
Yeah.
Forget going to the bar.
You can't even have gaming parties anymore. Think about it. There's no more split screen really, except Call of Duty.
I mean, bring your TV and computer.
That's pretty much what you have to do.
We all hook up to the internet.
There's no more gaming
the slowest speeds. And
there's no more of when you die, it's my turn. Remember that? When you die, it's my turn.
Well, now though, what's really big, and I don't want to get too far off topic, but is mobile gaming.
Yeah.
Just hop on your phone.
Yeah.
Press a few buttons and you're good.
Which I guess it comes into it. Because both these are studios. Activision, it was a studio. Bungie is a studio. They call themselves studios. And this studio, Bungie, they had a great book. I mean, a book. They had a great catalog. Yeah, Destiny, you had Halo Reach. And so they were great. And 343 Industries, which used to be a part of Bungie, you know, they were all one and the same. That's who now has Halo.
Okay.
But Bungie still has, I think, some ties into like the first two Halo games.
Yeah, I'm sure they get some type of royalties or something.
Here's the kicker: now that Sony now owns it, and it used to be an exclusive, who's gonna own Halo now? Because Microsoft says, and if you look at everything Microsoft, still it's got Halo everywhere, including by itself as an exclusive.
Yeah, but I think the way it would work is whatever games have already been made through Bungie, it's going to still be like Microsoft exclusive, right? So then anything made after that, then it could be Sony exclusive. But I think most fans of Halo or Bungie or Activision or Sony or Microsoft, even if, and I don't think Sony would even do this, but even if Sony was like, you know what, we're going to make another Halo because we own Bungie, I don't think they would do that. And if they did, I don't think a lot of people would play because usually you choose a side, either your team Xbox, your team PlayStation, and then PC is somewhere in the middle.
Well, okay. It used to be that way.
Okay.
But now, well, I don't say now. So it is still a lot that way. But more gamers. I throw myself a little bit in that because I like the game. So but more gamers now have all three systems.
I ain't got that type of money. I have Xbox,
you use that PlayStation though.
Yeah, but like usually you trade one for the other.
No, you do.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have like a brand new the new Xbox and a new PS5 and also a brand new. I mean,
oh no, you
actually,
wouldn't. Well, yeah, I
you got a
mean,
PC.
you look behind you. I'm just saying, but no, you're right. You wouldn't do that. And when I've always been at Xbox. So my first one was I had the Xbox, and I bought the Xbox One.
Wakanda forever.
Definitely. And then I bought a PS4, the small one, and then I was trying to turn because it was about time the end of the generation because all game systems have like a cycle, about 5 years. Is their cycle. So it was pretty much at the end of the Xbox and PlayStation cycle. I'm like, okay, well, I need to get something new. Yeah, I already had a PlayStation, I already had an Xbox. I was going to get a new Xbox at the time, but I was like, wait, Xbox has got another system coming out soon. If I get the PS4 Pro, I don't have to worry about getting the Xbox now.
Yeah, but that's
what I did. So now I got the Xbox, I got the PS4 Pro, which still runs in the PS5.
But see, how do you? I don't know how you do that because like.
Oh, these are years in between each other now. This was like me going out.
So you're not like playing them all at the same time. No,
this is years in between. I currently have all the systems, but this was years in between. Like the last system I bought was a PlayStation VR system, which is great, by the way. It's fun. That's why I've been the last couple of weeks. But I think now with a lot of these things happening, like Activision being bought, Bungie being bought, they are now going to be flush with a lot more cash, a lot more money.
100%.
And so 100%. I think the games are going to get, especially these core games, Call of Duty, which has Call of Duty has needed some help.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. So I'm the type of gamer to where I can only play one game at a time. And what I mean by that is you're never going to catch me with like 4 different games that I own. It's always going to be trading. I'm playing this for however many months or years for Call of Duty. And I switch. I can't have more than one. Are you the type to can be able to like?
I've got my Xbox catalog because I only do digital ever since they started doing digital. I have over 400 Xbox games.
See, that's too many for me.
I have probably 200 and something PlayStation games.
Okay.
And PC games, I only have like maybe 20 at the most. I don't have very many of those at all because I'm still new to that. But now, as far as games I keep loaded up, ready to play, because, 400 games, that's not all going to fit in your hard drive.
Right.
I only keep maybe 4 or 5 games.
Okay, so you own them, you just don't play them all the time.
Right. Now, there's some I play at a decent time. Like right now, I go between Cyberpunk, PlayStation VR games, which is Walking Dead, and some other game.
Well, Star Wars. Cyberpunk, you can, when you first play Cyberpunk, you kind of make your own penis.
Oh yeah.
That was weird.
I got my guy Schlong,
I haven't used it yet, but I don't know.
I gave him a Schlong, man.
I don't know why I had to make one.
And you never see it again.
No, you never see it again. You make it and it's there. I guess. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I get that, but me, I'm like, I stick with, and the big thing is what my friends are playing. So, like with Call of Duty. And shout out to my little Call of Duty group: Dom, Zach, Chris, Martin, Mario, whoever. I play with the same core group of guys, all right, and we all play the same game. So it's a lot of times whatever I buy next kind of depends on what my friends are playing at the same time. Because I mean, these days with COVID, with isolation, with with even Wi-Fi connectability, I mean everything's a lot faster. So you want to be able to play with your friends games that are popular and that they will also have that's affordable or even free, some games. And that's kind of it, man. I like competitive games. You never really catch me playing a single player adventure game because I would just get bored of it.
What's the last single player adventure game you did?
Oh man. Maybe like Wolfenstein, I think.
Okay. So
and I didn't even beat it. I get bored halfway through and I just quit.
So that's the thing. You're way behind on games.
I'm okay.
All right.
I like that.
Look, Call of Duty is great. Don't get me wrong. It's a good game. But there are so many better games out there. Like,
yeah, I know. But like I think at the time.
And I'm saying and action adventure games. And I see how you would say they get boring, but I'm a competitive guy too. And so with me, when it comes to action adventure games, I like to make sure I can beat everything on the screen.
See, I can't.
See, and if I can't, then I'm pissed off and I restart and I go back and do it again and again and again until I make sure.
Yeah, see, you got a lot of time in your hands. See, I like we literally text each other and be like, "Hey, y'all trying to play at a certain like it's like another job almost, like, hey, 8 o'clock, everybody on 8 o'clock.
See, I ain't got to do all that. I just jump in and go play.
See, nah, man, because I like to talk shit.
No, I like to talk shit too, but I can never find people playing the time I'm really play because I don't normally play until like midnight.
Yeah, okay. So you see your night out. Yeah, nah, I'm 8 to 11, and if we're having a crap game, then I'm 8 to 8:30.
I mean, I like to play earlier, but during early times, I'm like running errands or working on the float. Or
I mean, I will say this, man, gaming, and I
you work.
I don't want to talk too long. I'll leave it at this, but it's enjoyable. Like it's truly enjoyable for me. Like I've been playing, like I said, games since I was a kid, and majority of people have as well. But just how things have progressed with graphics, with speed, with storage, with quality of games, it's like I can never really. I mean, I'm 32 years old, and I used to think back when I was like, in the teens and my 20s, like I'm gonna get bored of this by 30. You know what I mean? Like you kind of have that cutoff time frame or age, but gaming, I don't see it ending anytime soon, man. And they keep getting better.
Yeah.
And we were talking about VR the other day, and that's progressing, and eventually.
And that's what I was going to go into because, like I said, gaming is pushing the entertainment industry. So now you've got movies in VR. You got movies in.
That's 3D. Actually a terrible. Like
no, think about it.
I have an Oculus behind me. I try to watch even a YouTube video, and you want to talk about immediate headache like that? You get motion sickness so quick.
Yeah, I said I get motion sickness from it.
Dude, I'm looking up. And I'm looking at little, all these baby pixels, and I can't see anything. And the quality is like 460, whatever it is. It's just.
See, no, I'm talking about high definition, 720, 1080 stuff, 4K. They even have 4K.
Yeah, but you don't want to be too good. You want to be questioning your reality. Like,
that's exactly what you want. That is I want to make sure that when I put the headphones on, I'm in a completely different world.
All right, he's trying to be the Matrix.
Exactly what I'm trying to do.
I'm tired of this. Peasant life, put me in a goddamn Matrix as a billionaire.
Thank you. Hey, Ready Player One me all day. That's what I'm saying.
I'm hoping.
Ready Player One me all day. But yeah, you're gonna have. But now they're working on movies. Literally, they're filming movies and they're gonna put you in the middle of the movie, make you the star.
See, that's cool till you get one of them Scream, Nightmare, Halloween, or Jason movies where you running from Jason, you jump out your real window.
So I would say this last bit that I move on. So the last bit sort about the VR thing. So I was playing VR yesterday, and a game I have is called The Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners.
Okay,
and it's a zombie game, but it's not like all zombie game.
Right.
So you just sitting there walking down the alley, whatever, and all of a sudden something jumped out at me. Man, how I probably screamed like a little, like my kids when they were young. Because I went,
yeah. I'm throwing hands, whatever.
I know I had to.
Controllers. I'm throwing something.
The controller had to tell me to stop throwing it so hard. It said you just need relax. You need a full range of motion, not speed.
John, you need to relax. You're destroying your actual real place.
Pretty much. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and move on before the show runs on forever and ever and ever. So. You ready for What the Florida?
I am ready.
All right.
I am ready, Freddie.
We're going to play What the Florida. And those of you who are listening, who are still listening, play along. If you're not, still listening, put it in the comments later when you do it, and I'll let you know if you're right or not. Even you'll know at the end of this thing, but
I never get this right.
Anyway, here we go. First story. Oh, boy. Police. Naked Florida man drove with wires on his penis.
He did what?
Naked Florida man drove with wires on his penis.
With wires?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Police say a Florida man was caught naked driving slowly through a neighborhood with children while electrical wires protruded from his penis. Yeah. News outlets reports 56-year-old Kurt Jenkins faces lewd and lascivious exhibition, exposure of sexual organs, and resisting a law enforcement officer without violence charges. A police report shows a witness Monday said the naked man identified as Jenkins drove by him, gesturing for him to look towards Jenkins' groin area.
Jesus. Hey, look at me.
That's when the witness saw an electric device with wires attached to Jenkins' penis. The witness said Jenkins. I know, that's what I'm wondering.
I swear you pulled me over, I'm blowing everybody up.
That's when the witness saw an electronic device with wires. The witness said Jenkins asked him to get inside, but he declined and called police.
Wow.
Arriving officer says Jenkins refused to comply to police commands. He was eventually taken to the ground and handcuffed. His police mugshot shows him with 2 black eyes and several stitches on his face. It's unclear how he sustained his injuries. Thinking that the guy he told to look.
Yeah, like imagine like a cop having like to arrest like naked people. Like, bro, would you please put your clothes on? Come on.
I mean, the face of the guy. Oh boy, I would.
If I was a cop and I'm chasing a naked criminal, I would just get the dog. Like, whatever, get the canine unit. Like, I'm not chasing this guy.
At the end of this, I'm gonna show the people, our listeners, what this guy looks like. Oh, wait, you actually know what it looks like, and the story can be found on Wink News. So there you go. Next story. Florida man goes magnet fishing with his grandson. He reels in 2 sniper rifles.
Ooh.
A Florida man who took his grandson magnet fishing in the canal said the duo reeled in a pair of unexpected items. Sniper rifles. That man had electrical dysfunction. Yes, he did. I like that.
I would have sold those. Some sniper rifles.
Dwayne Smith said he watched a YouTube video about magnet fishing, the practice of casting a line with a magnet into the water to see what items can be brought up to the surface, and decided to give it a try.
Don't do that at the beaches of Normandy.
They tried it in a canal with his grandson, Alan, called Cadwater 11. The pair used a 5-pound magnet to cast their line into the canal. After about 5 minutes, they pulled up a Barrett 50 caliber sniper rifle. A few minutes later, they pulled up an identical rifle. Smith said both guns were missing their barrels and had their serial numbers filed off.
We should do that. We should go magnet fishing.
I could use a rifle. I'm just saying I could definitely use a rifle.
Throw it right over the bridge.
The rifles were turned over to the city police department. Detective Christopher Thomas said police would perform tests to try to determine whether the guns were used in any known crime.
Oh, come on, Christopher Thomas.
A Michigan man previously discovered an unusual piece of weaponry while magnet fishing in April 2021. Ryan McCollum said he and his son were magnet fishing in the Grand Rapids Grand River when they reeled in
Grand Rapids?
Grand Rapids.
Yeah, that's where I'm from.
In a 2-foot-long metal object that turned out to be a World War II era artillery shell.
Wow.
So
listen, folks, you trying to make some extra cash? Get a 5-pound magnet and go magnet fishing.
Seriously, you can pull out some. And if you pull out a rifle, it's not mine, but I may want it. I'm just saying. I probably
get a 5-pound. Let me go on Amazon and see if they got a 5-pound.
I can always use more weapons. I'm just saying. Final with the Florida story. Insanity. Officer tickets a ambulance, threatens to tow the vehicle.
He tickets oh my God.
A parking enforcement officer ticketed a parked ambulance and tried to have the emergency vehicle towed Monday night. Sources tell WYN that the inspector issued citations to the ambulance, claiming it was a commercial vehicle and was not allowed to be on a parked street.
That's when you're doing too much of your job.
It gets even better. The ambulance is one of the fleet of ambulances parked strategically around the city to enable a fast response time to treat patients calling for medical assistance. It has been parked on Pine Tree Drive and 40th Street, which you don't know where that is, for more than a month now. It is unknown what prompted this enforcement officer to take this ridiculous action. The members of the police of the ambulance center attempted to reason with the man, explaining that this is a Florida state certified ambulance, but the officer refused to listen. Additionally, he ticketed the vehicles belonging to Hatzola volunteers who were parked parked there to service the ambulance. He claimed that they had magnets on the sides of their vehicle, labeling their vehicle as Hatzola, and were therefore commercial vehicles.
Okay.
Sources tell WON that Hatzola is having a meeting with city officials on Wednesday morning.
All right. Damn. Hefty ticket. All right. So 3 stories. First story, naked Florida man, which seems to be a quite common occurrence here in Florida. Apparently, people just hate wearing clothes. I'm gonna say, where do they do that at? That's definitely South Florida.
You gonna say South Florida?
I'm going South Florida.
All right. You
Come on.
are correct.
I'm correct. Beach, Thank you so much. Florida. Listen, if you're not from Florida, if you go to South Florida, you want to see some crazy stuff, go there.
This is the man if you're looking. Yeah, this is the man. You can look at him, see.
Story 2. Magnet fishing, which I really want to try.
Yeah,
I was just looking on Amazon. They got kits. Well, I don't know why you need a kit. You need a magnet, right?
Yeah. I didn't even know it was a thing until I found out at the store.
Yeah, I don't want to find like a dead body. I'm gonna say Central.
Central.
Yeah.
All right. You would be wrong.
Ooh.
It happened in South Florida. It happened in Miami area.
All right. Makes sense. That's a good place to start magnet fishing. Last story. Ticketing ambulance. First of all, I understand, parking guards or whatever that give tickets. I mean, they got a job to do. I just hate it, man. I got a ticket last week at work for in a one of those 2-hour parking zones. And they got me like 10 minutes after the 2 hours. I don't even know how they knew what time I got. It's just like, do they get bonuses or something? Or is there a quota? I'm just like, man.
I think they're the only ones that's supposed to actually have a legal quota, but they all have a quota.
I just want to run over that little cart that they drive in the middle of the street. Anyway, taking an ambulance. Wow, you really hit your quota. So I'm gonna go say North Florida.
Gonna say North Florida. Well, this time all three of these happened in South Florida.
Ooh.
All three happened in South Florida. This also happened in the Miami-Dade area.
All right, he got me. That's okay. Maybe next time. Anyway, if you're coming to Florida, watch out for these parts. If you see anybody without a shirt on, they probably butt naked underneath in the car. Don't park in any parking spots on the street downtown. And lastly, if you go magnet fishing, you might find some very interesting pieces of hardware.
And I want that catch. I'm just saying I probably want that catch.
It's pawn shops everywhere.
But on that bombshell, and on the fact that I have nothing else to say to add to it,
nothing.
We'll end here. And this has been the weekly review with Sean and Serak. I am Sean the Torres.
And it's your boy Serak the Mike. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. Hey everyone, this is Sean the Torres.
And it's your boy Serak the Mike.
We just want to remind you, go ahead and hit that subscribe button for us.
Please subscribe, like, share. But if you don't like, obviously don't do any of that stuff because we don't want no fakes out there. Just kidding.
Let us know why you don't